what I think needs to happen in film and television, or Hollywood as they say, to diversify it and make it stronger for people other than white people. I believe it starts behind the scenes with this type of thing. It starts with what you guys are doing, and it starts with doing it yourself. So taking control of what you can, and then content. Because in terms of black film, we have to have, or black, Latin, other than white people, we just have to have more fantasy in the film. What we do is, oh yeah, that's a great story. It's like Paid in Full is true. It's a street story. What we do is, like you said, you want to be international. What we do is local in film. The black story is local. Not enough fantasy. No, now we have Black Panther. We have that TV show Black Lightning. 50 Cent has a show called Tomorrow Today. It's all fantasy, superhero. Otherwise, the stories that we pen and tell are dealing with some plight or some comedic element that's palatable. So it really starts with behind the scenes, taking control of what you can. Because nowadays, you can go make a movie with your iPhone. Quite frankly, editing equipment, and if it's good enough, I think there was an Oscar-nominated film this year that was made on the iPhone. So that just goes to show you, you know, that's the precedent that's been set. Anyone can go and do that. It's just important that we tell more than our story, that we tell bigger stories. And we haven't had enough, when I say fantasy, if you think about like white Hollywood, which is Hollywood, is, I mean, they got all of it. Superman, Batman, Tarzan, every Ann. You understand? All the fake shit is there, it's the fantasies. Our films and stories are urban, so that's limited. Or they're dealing with race, which that is also limited. So there's no fantasy in our stories, so we've not expound beyond infantry. We're babies in the game until we move beyond the simpleness of our story. Another thing that can help it is the documentary world. Because if we want to tell, nothing tells a story better than a documentary. No actor's gonna be, you know, I portray Jimi Hendrix. Go look at the doc on Jimmy. Don't even look at me. If you don't know Jimi Hendrix, don't learn it from me. Go learn it from Jimi Hendrix and then check me out, see how I did. But people learn about Jimi Hendrix from me and Andre. You understand? Especially urban people, black, Latin people. We're like an intro to classic rock. Jimi Hendrix is like what Bob Marley is for reggae, for classic rock. You can fuck with classic rock if the right, entity pulls you into it. It's like reggae. A lot of people can't appreciate reggae because they might have started out somewhere in the middle of it and not really getting the inception that they need to have so that it can be, fortified on the topic and on a genre enough. So again, just to narrow down, I believe that there needs to be, for there to be more diversity in Hollywood, behind the scenes, we need more fantasy. That's why Get Out is, I'm saying it's happening now. Get Out. That's an Oscar-nominated horror flick. Black Panther. And also, black people, we always have to our way of breaking the rules is just surpassing expectations, basically. That's a broken rule, because the expectation was the rule. And so Black Panther is an example of that because it's already pre-sold more than any movie of Marvel ever. Check that out. And I know Ryan, that's the coolest dude ever born. And I'm going to shoot Creed 2 when I leave here, or in March. Philly, like you mentioned Philly earlier, it's gonna be live. You gotta come out there for 16 weeks. But not Ryan though. Ryan ain't directing this one. And so Ryan, and there are certain young men who are, what I'm telling you, they're doing it, And I was saying that documentaries do it well. Like we should do a doc on the projects in Chicago. Because people ain't even gonna know what projects are anymore. We'll be like 60 years old. There used to be this thing called projects. And it won't be there anymore. And so read somewhere that Chicago projects like Robert Taylor homes and whatnot were constructed or architected by prison architects. And thus, that look. Because don't they look like goddamn prisons? So that's interesting. And then what the hell happens to all the people who are from that world of the projects? You know, you want to talk about The Wire? Like, what if it was a show called Robert Taylor Homes, and it was here, and you could relive any of the, because Wire is based on a lot of true stories. Avon Barksdale and Stringer Bell are real people. So go get a couple of real people out of that experience if you want to be, you know, saturated in that realness. But I like to do that with docs rather than film so much, television so much, because we get pinheld into that.